yes, we've been able to score excellently well. And of course, another thing is availability of drinkable water. This, Ondo Kingdom is an agrarian society, and almost 90% of our people are farmers. One way or the other, they can be a career officer, a public servant, but they still have a little bit of farming that they do on the side. But how do we make sure that we have water for them? How do we make sure that we have agricultural input for them? Those are things that I've been able to learn as a local government chairman, which has helped me now as a member House of Rep. And so, to the glory of God, those things have been met from time to time. Yeah.
All right, Honorable, let me take you back to the education sector. One of the landmark achievements credited to your representation.
Hello?
Hello?
All right, we are always talking about the issue of the achievements of yours in the education sector. Well, what we're talking about, you did mention the area of Adeyemi College of Education.
Yes.
Then you also mentioned the Ondo or dualization to Akure and all that. There are controversies on that as to who exactly facilitated the dualization of that road. Yourself or your brother legislator at the upper chamber, who actually facilitated this?
Well, I did, because, by our rules in the House, for you to facilitate such a project, there must be some kind of emotion on the floor of the House. You can't just write and say, hey, I want you to dualize this road. You have to stand on the floor of the National Assembly and present a motion. And that's what we'll say is by way of motion. You have to stand up and speak and allow members to look at it and the speaker to look at it.
Okay.
And then they'll be able to either approve or reject, because it's an infrastructural bill, infrastructural motion, sorry to say, and that infrastructural motion must be moved on the floor of the House. For me, there are evidences to show that I move it on the floor.
What then brought the controversy that you did not facilitate it, but he did?
No, there's no way he could have done it because he didn't move it on the floor. You have to move it on the floor. Where's the motion? He didn't do any motion to that. He has never stood up on the ground, on the floor of the House, on the floor of the Senate, to move a motion. And without a motion, what can we be able to pass to the presidency? Because we are independent of the executive. So, by way of moving a motion, you pass your message to the executive. And to be able to pass your message to the executive, you move it as a motion. And that's the purpose of a motion. I did, and the evidence is there, but he did not. So I don't know where they got this political propaganda that he did. But there's no evidence to show that he moved anything on the floor or wrote to that effect. But of course, in politics, you always see people who just come up with all manner of, points that does not have any evidence. But as for me, I have evidence and I've been able to prove it, and people generally know that I did.
Both of you are from the same political party, but then you are also both in the National Assembly. Does it point towards disunity in your party, or what exactly is it?
No. There's no disunity. APC is standing strong and is strengthening, and I will always stand strong. We are one family. He is my brother, of course, and he's in the upper chamber while I'm at the lower chamber. I've been there for 2 terms, and I believe that by the special grace of God, I've done 1 local government, and I've done 2 local government right now, twice. And so I felt that with my experience, which is much more better than his, I didn't move from nowhere to Senate. I'm moving from a council chairman to a member House of Reps, and now to Senate. So it's from primary school to secondary school and then to university. I didn't just jump to university.
Magdi, we'll come back to that. We'll come back to that in the course of this conversation.
All right, Honorable. Can you hear me, Honorable?
All right.
All right. So aside from the upgrade of the institution to a university of
I can
education,
hear.
okay. Aside the upgrade, can you hear me now?
Hello?
Oh, it
Is she
can't
saying
hear me.
something?
Yes, he's talking
I said
to you.
outside the upgrade from of the institution to a university, what else can you say your representation has attracted to your constituency?
Of course, many things that we've been able to do in Ondo. Well, let me talk about education. Well, my acronym has always been WEALTH, WEALTH. Of course, W for water. We've been able to facilitate a lot of solar-powered boreholes across Ondo Kingdom. And E for education. Of course, we've been able to bring so many primary schools and secondary schools buildings into Ondo Kingdom. I'll give an example of a place called Ajangbale. Ajangbale is inhabited with thousands of people, but guess what? The kids will have to walk about 5 kilometers before they get to their primary school. So, and they don't even have a primary school, they don't even have a secondary school. And there are thousands of people that live in that community. Ajangbale is on your way to Lagos,
Okay.
around Oka community. And by the special grace of God, through my office, we've been able to facilitate a primary school building to them and also a secondary school. So now they have a primary, they have a secondary. I just use that as a very good example. Another one, E, for empowerment. We've been able to give a lot of empowerment materials to our people in Ondo Kingdom.
Okay.
And let's talk about another E. It's called entertainment. So far, in those days, many years ago, let me say about 6-7 years ago, Ondo people used to go to Akure to enjoy themselves in terms of entertainment, like comedy show and all that. So, and I met with some couple of young entertainers in Ondo Kingdom. They came and said they need me to please put hand into entertainment industry in Ondo Kingdom. And today, by the special grace of God, Ondo is thriving in terms of entertainment because the youth are getting more involved in that area, and we've been able to pump in a lot of money into it. Well, let's talk about the A, which is agriculture. I mean, of course, I've said that Ondo Kingdom is an agrarian society. We have a lot of farmers. We have some people who are career officers, they are government workers, but at the same time, they have their fish farm somewhere. They have their cocoa farm somewhere. And so what can we do to help them? And so far, we've been able to facilitate agricultural inputs, cocoa seedlings, palm oil seedlings, which we've been able to give to them, and equipment that they will need to be able to do their job very well and be very productive. Let's talk about L, which is light. We have, I'll just use, because of our time, a place called Wesley University in Ondo Kingdom. Wesley University is well known along Ife or Shore Road, or along Ife Road on the right hand side. It's a very, very notable university in Ondo Kingdom. But when you are passing through that place at night, it's all in darkness. You would think that there is no university there. So the VC approached me and said, please, Honorable Makinde, can you provide us solar light? We need solar light in this, our complex. And by the grace of God, we've been able to facilitate solar lights to the school. I'll use that as an example to many other communities that we've been able to facilitate solar lights, transformer, and many other things that has to do with light. Let's talk about T. T for training. We've been able to harness a lot of jobs to our people in Ondo Kingdom because T for training, but training is in 3 segments: the skill, the semi-skill, and the unskilled. There are people who are skilled, which means that they are well educated. What do we do? They have bachelor's degree. How do we encourage them? Those ones have been, a lot of them has been sponsored abroad. There are some of them in UK right now, in US, because They have bachelor's degree, and we need to empower them so that we can have a better Ondo Kingdom in the future. And we have been able to facilitate some, master's degree program for them outside the country. What about those who are actually looking for job in Nigeria? Yeah, we've been able to do that. That's for the skilled. But there are some people who doesn't have bachelor's degree. They only have maybe OND, a little bit of education. And those ones, of course, we've been able to build a skill acquisition center in Adeyemi University right now. In the compound of Adeyemi University, I built a massive skill acquisition center. They are well equipped for all those who are interested in some kind of skill acquisition. And personally, myself and my wife, we have this Hamdromi Entrepreneurship School, which is free. We graduate maybe about 200 graduates every year, free of charge. It's around Valentino in Ondo. So, but then there are some who are unskilled. They don't even have any degree, any education. All fingers are not equal.
Well, because of our time, you might not be able to go on and on and on talking about all of these. I think we should move on with the conversation.
Okay, so quick one. How has your representation addressed social and economic issues affecting...
I can't hear you.
Okay, how has your representation... Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, how has your representation addressed social and economic issues centered around women and girls in your constituency?
Of course, I would say that we have held a couple of programs for girls in terms of education. Of course, my wife, to God be the glory, she's a medical doctor, and she has also been a very big pillar as far as supporting me in the area of the Girls' Child and so many other programs that we've been able to embark on as far as girls are concerned. Instructional materials is one of those things that I would say that I've been very glad in making sure that these girls are well equipped to be well educated, because they are very smart. We need to encourage them. When we have good women at home, educated women at home, we can have a better Nigeria. And of course, we've been able to empower a lot of girls in that area in terms of, like I said, skill acquisition, in terms of instructional materials. But as a member House of Rep also, let me speak about this human rights commission, which is one of the bills that is going to affect positively girls in Nigeria. Violence against women is a critical thing that we are considering as far as the Human Rights Commission Act. It's one of the bills that I sponsored on the floor of the House. It has passed the first reading. It has passed the second reading. And of course, we are going into the public hearing very soon. So I take that as a priority. Anything that has to do with women, anything that has to do with our girls, we take that as a serious concern. In terms of their education, in terms of their welfare also, those are priorities to us. So that for me, I'm pretty sure that when that bill passes the House and go for concurrence in the Senate, we should be able to have it given an assent by the President. Because it's a very critical bill that we look forward to, yeah.
All right, Honorable Bakide, you were talking about the issue of a political transition from one office to another the other time. It's not time for campaign yet, of course. There's no room for that. But I'm interested in knowing why you think that your job is done at the House of Representatives and it's time to come up higher. Why do you think so?
Over time, we've seen neglect in the other local government, so to say. I talk about wealth, my wealth agenda, WEALTH. And I've been able to go around. I've been able to check Akure South, Akure North, Ifedore, Idore. Let me give you a very critical example to demonstrate why this is very important. We, Adeyemi started as a college. So is FECA, Federal College of Agriculture, is also a college. Adeyemi was a college. FECA is a college. And FECA, acquired people have been yearning that FECA should turn to a university. After all, we have Ogun State. Ogun State has their own Federal University of Agriculture.
Okay.
Osrc State has their own Federal University of Agriculture. What is wrong with Ondo State not having their own Federal University of Agriculture in an agrarian society? So it is an anathema that we should be having a college of agric in Ondo State.
Okay.
And so the yearning of the people of Akure has been that FECA should be a university, which Adeyemi was a college and is now a university. So I felt that there is a need for mine service as far as water is concerned, as far as education is concerned, as far as our power is concerned, solar light and so many other things, health is concerned, across the 6 local government. Because I've seen that these people are not experiencing a dividend of democracy. Let me use education as also a very good example. The only biggest library, public library, built in Ondo State, apart from the state government library, is in Ondo Town, which was built by my office for the public. It can actually engage about 800 students at a time. I don't see that in Ifedore. I don't see that in Idori. And if you go to the Western countries, Western world, you will see library in almost all the communities. But here is a local government. There is not even single one in Ifedore. There is not one single one in Idori. No mini stadium. We have a stadium in Ondo State, in Ondo Town, that has been dilapidated for a very long time. Chairs are bad, and the people called and said, please, we need assistance in this area. Look at our stadium today, well renovated. But tell me, where is the stadium in Ifedore? What are the youths going to use in Idori? What about Akure North? There's nothing for the youth. There is nothing for the community. So why can't I extend my services as far further than the 2 local government and let these other 4 local government enjoy that same dividend?
On Makinde, so many things we still need to talk about, especially that I'm also interested in knowing what exactly will be the difference. But that will be after this break. We'll be right back. Please stay with us, everyone.
Thank you.
A name that roared through the halls of colonial power and echoed in the hearts of women across Africa. Her name is...
Welcome back, everyone. We're still discussing federal representation of the people of Ondo State at the national scene. Speaking with us all along is the member representing the people of Ondo East, Ondo West Federal Constituency, Honorable Abiola Makinde. Thank you so much, Honorable, for still being with us.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Now, you've been speaking on what you feel will be the thing that is making you feel you want to go to the upper chamber, but I am interested in knowing what exactly do you feel stands you out at a time like this, beyond what you claim you've done and all of that. But at the point in time, despite all of this you said you've done, there was an uprising against you. In fact, some were even calling for your recall. What exactly went wrong? What did you do wrong?
Well, my people didn't call call for my recall. It was a political propaganda from those who never lived in Ondo. They don't even have anything to do with the Ondo Kingdom. They just one or two guys who felt that I needed to settle them over one thing, which I refuse. I refuse to compromise. I refuse to give a kickback. I refuse to do certain things that God did not ask me to do. So they just went on and started to make some propaganda.
God did not ask you to do. Is there a God factor in politics?
No, they were just some kind of a kickback. Which the gentleman asked me over the phone, won't I take care of them, blah blah blah. If not, they will go online and tarnish my image. I was like, look, go ahead and let the people decide. And at the end of the day, it was watered down because from all the angles and the corners of Ondo Kingdom, everybody is aware of the fact that Abiola Peter Makinde has done very well as far as representing them. The things we sent him to do in Abuja, he has been able to do it. We gave him 2 assignments: dualize the road, make sure Adeyemi turns to a university, and he's been able to deliver it. Something that has never been done. The roads are being tarred, things are being done. So our people are outside the country schooling. So why? So they were not speaking on behalf of Ondo, and that was why Ondo wrote to that individual and said that who sent you to go and be writing this rubbish online? And of course, at the end of the day, he apologized, saying that he was only looking for my attention. And he said, look, you can't just go on Sahara Reporter and just write things that are unfounded. I mean, you are not representing Ondo Kingdom. You call yourself one NGO. We don't even know this NGO. We don't even know where you are from. So it was debunked, and we just move on. I wasn't perturbed about it because I know it was all lies.
Okay, let me ask. Okay, so with this achievement, is this what is informing your belief that you can take over the Central Senatorial District?
What is in the Central Senatorial District? Let's put it this way, in this perspective.
Okay.
I'm a member House of Rep, and I want to go to Senate. It's a similar job. Don't forget, there is no difference in the Senate and the Rep. The only difference is the fact that jurisdiction expands. One is 2 local government, the other one is 6 local government. Now, what's the reason? What's the yearnings? The strong-hearted will to do this? Dividend of democracy must reach our people. If you believe that with me, you will not give anybody anyhow the seat, even to Rep, to Senate come 2027. If you care about the dividend of democracy reaching our people, in which area? One, are they having a good representation in Akure, in Maidore, in Ifedore? Are they really enjoying dividend of democracy as they should? What are the views of the current senator right now? None. I am the only one so far that have ever gotten the assent of the president. He has never gotten one assent of the president. So the most important duty of a lawmaker is to make laws and then to get the law signed by the president. He has never gotten one single passed by the House.
There's so much to talk about, but time is no longer on our side. I do hope we'll have another platform very soon to discuss issues having to do with representation and what you are able to do in line with this. I have to thank you very much for your time on AM today. Thank you so much for joining us via Zoom. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, Honorable, since it's the governor's birthday and your wife's birthday, we would love for you to give a shout out to both the governor and your wife on the show.
Well, let me shout out to Mr. Governor.
Yes.
Let me shout out to my wife, Dr. Mrs. Rhoda Makinde. Today is her birthday. Happy birthday to you. I love you so much. She is my Fanta and the Coke, and when you mix Fanta and Coke together, it becomes a Chapman.
All right.
And so let me shout out to my governor, Lucky Orimiso Aiyedatiwade Prince. He's 61st today. He turned 61, and I want to celebrate him. I wish him many happy returns of the day.
We wish him a happy birthday too. Thank you very much, Honorable Abiola Makinde, for your time. We really appreciate this, but we have to go at this point. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, everyone, it's been an interesting moment on AM today. For today, it's been indeed an engaging engagement. We've looked at issues of tourism and cultural development in Ondo State, and also we went ahead to talk about the development of our people vis-a-vis federal representation. We had Abiola Makinde on that. Thank you very much, everyone, for being a part of it. From my colleague,
Of course, do have a lovely week ahead.
Have a very beautiful week ahead. I'm Sunday Kolawole. Good morning.